Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's JB the Ranch Mechanic coming at you today from the really hot cab of our D9H bulldozer. I'm working on the transmission on this thing, replacing a couple of hydraulic lines. That's not the purpose of this video today, though. What I want to talk about today is something that is really starting to bother me. And, you know, I don't get into politics too much on this channel, because I want to be open to anyone who wants to watch my content. I don't want to alienate anybody or make anyone feel bad for any decisions they may or may not have made regarding politics. That's not really my thing. But what I want to talk about today is what I believe to be a huge overreach by the government that just kind of started happening a few years ago out of the blue. And that has to do with the Clean Air Act. Now, the Clean Air Act has been around for 45 years, okay? This is something that basically says that a vehicle that is being driven on the streets here in the United States cannot be modified. You can't do anything that may affect the emissions of the vehicle. In 2015, just kind of, like I said, out of the blue, the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, they reinterpreted that law, basically saying that any vehicle, if it was originally designed to be operated on public roadways, you can't take that vehicle and stop registering it and convert it into a dedicated race car. Even if you want to use it as a race vehicle, if you want to take a chassis or even an engine or a transmission with a VIN number on it, all of a sudden the EPA decided in their infinite wisdom that they were no longer going to allow that. So you want to take your Dodge Ram 2500, 2002 with a 24 valve Cummins in it, and, start doing drag racing with it or tractor pulling with it or something. Good luck. That vehicle, since it was originally designed and registered to be used on streets here in the US, you cannot, according to the EPA, take that vehicle and modify it in any way that will basically alter it from factory specifications regarding the emissions. I don't know what prompted them to all of a sudden start doing this. But most people have first started noticing this in the diesel market. Especially these newer diesel vehicles with, exhaust scrubbers and DEF tanks and things like that. Any modifications you make to one of those vehicles, good luck finding an aftermarket exhaust or a DPF or DEF delete kit now. Even aftermarket computer tuning and stuff, they're cracking down on. I managed to get lucky and I ordered a couple of straight pipe exhaust kits. We found a place that still had some of those kits available, and the H&S Minimax tuners. So we were able to do that. But these are ranch trucks. They run on red diesel. We don't run them on the streets. But even though we don't use them on the streets, the EPA could come in and fine us for using those vehicles. Good luck even finding those components anymore. You may have noticed if you own a diesel-powered vehicle that, exhaust systems, tuners, intakes, things like that are getting really, really tough to find. The company that we bought them from is in the freaking Caymans. It's a US-based company, but they had to switch everything over to the Cayman Islands just to keep the EPA from backtracing where they're selling their stuff from. And now, the thing that really prompted me to make this video is now the EPA is starting to go after gasoline users. It's not just a diesel thing anymore. And it doesn't matter if you're an end user, if you are a retailer that just sells other people's parts, or if you're a manufacturer. They're going to come after you. The thing that really pissed me off was what just happened to Brent from PFI Speed. If you know anything about Brent from PFI Speed, he's genuinely one of the nicest guys on the internet. He's just a genuinely good dude. He's happy all the time. He loves what he does. He builds race cars. That's what he does. He doesn't build street cars, really. He does track stuff, cars that are just for racing, that get trailered everywhere. The EPA just came in, audited his business last year, and he was trying to stay on the up and up. I'm going to link his video here just so you guys can go hear it directly from him. But they audited his business, I think it was like November or December last year, and they turned everything over that the EPA asked for. Everything. They gave him all the documents, all the business records, everything they wanted back in February, and that was it. They hadn't heard anything back. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the EPA comes in after reviewing all of that stuff and finds these guys $18,000 for selling piggyback ECU, a fuel controller, I guess. They didn't even manufacture these things. It's another company's part that they sold through their website. And because they're selling these things, the EPA came in and wants to fine them $18,000. Brent's got a small shop, guys. He's not a multimillionaire. He's not a wealthy guy. I mean, these guys haven't even painted the inside of their shop yet because they're just trying to figure out how to get their ducks in a row to do other things. I mean, they want to build race cars. They don't want to do painting, and they don't want to do renovations and stuff. But I mean, those are the decisions that these guys have to make. You know, are they going to build a race car or are they going to upgrade their shop? You know, they don't have a bunch of money to toss around. And here we have the EPA coming in, a small shop. These guys are a drop in the bucket compared to the industry as a whole, okay? And the amount of sales that they've done and the amount of items that they've actually sold, nothing in the grand scheme of things. And the EPA wants to come in and fine them 18 grand. I am infuriated on Brent's behalf, as you guys should be as well, because this is the definition of government overreach as far as I'm concerned. It is absolute travesty what they're doing to these guys. And they're going after these small companies that don't have the means to defend themselves or hire lawyers and actually, you know, fight back. It's bullshit. Honestly, it is. And it's extremely upsetting, and it angers me. And, you know, if you could watch this video and see the emotion and the anger and the fear and the sadness on Brent's face, if you followed Brent or PFI Speed for any length of time, that's not normal. That's not a normal reaction for Brent. Like I said, he's one of the happiest, nicest guys I've ever seen on YouTube. And to see that kind of reaction from him, I mean, it got me right here because I feel extraordinarily bad for those guys. It's not right. So anyway, guys, what I've been, all this rambling is leading me to this. SEMA has been working with some congressional officials and some attorneys and a few other high-level folks to create what's called the RPM Act, which is Recognizing the Protection of Motorsports, RPM, okay? This is basically going to legislate protections in place for people who want to modify their vehicles and use them for off-road purposes or racing purposes. It's basically going to tie the hands of the EPA to prevent them from going after guys like Brent at PFI Speed for building race cars and selling performance parts. It's protection for everybody who enjoys modifying, racing, and driving high-performance vehicles. So if you have just a couple of minutes, I highly encourage you to follow the link that I'm going to put in the description of this video, go to SEMA's website, put in your information, and sign this petition for the RPM Act to show your support. If we can get this law passed, it is going to really change the way that the EPA interprets this law, the Clean Air Act. The Clean Air Act has its place, and I understand the reason that it was written, but what the EPA is doing right now is absolutely 100% wrong. It's a shakedown operation, guys. It's like the mob going in and going after the little guy that can't defend themselves. You know, and it's disgusting, it's wrong, and it's infuriating. So again, I would really appreciate it if you would throw your support toward the RPM Act, go sign it. I've got less than 1,000 subscribers on this channel, but if you guys would like this video and share it and help me get the message out there, if you can't stand government overreach and you love driving modified cars and you like racing cars and you like having the freedom to do what you want with your own vehicle, please show your support for the RPM Act and let's get this law passed. Anyway, obviously I'm mad about this. You guys should be mad about this too, because if it's happening to guys like Brent at PFI, it's going to happen to you guys. Even if you go online and buy someone's parts, they could trace that sale to you and they could hold you responsible for it. And you as an individual can be fined thousands of dollars. It's a shakedown. It's wrong. We got to stop them. Thank you guys for listening and watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day. I appreciate your support in advance. Like this video, share this video, get the message out there. Let's get it done. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next one. See ya.